It's the 31st of July and I'm going to do another tour of my plot. It's been a very, very hot month and there has been quite a bit of rain, but the last couple of weeks has been extremely dry again. I'm just sat in the shade here by my shed. So I best start off. So the entrance to my plot, I've got loads of rhubarb, been picking that and making lots of different things, jam, lots of crumbles, and hopefully make a few more before they start to die back. Over in this corner it's been a constant battle with brambles. You can see there's a few coming up there. I'm just constantly digging them up. But I have managed to plant some nice few things in here. I've got some courgettes. I did have 4 plants but 2 got eaten, but I think 2 will be plenty for us. And they're a little late to the party, but you can see there are some starting to come through there. I've also got some celery here and some celeriac. So the celery, I did have twice as much planted, but they were eaten. But there are 8 plants left, so I'll take that. My celeriac is coming on very well. You can see it's really swelling up at the base of each plant. Very much looking forward to having those in the autumn. My asparagus over there, the ferns are getting taller, and every so often there's a new asparagus coming up, but I'm just leaving them to go to ferns and then cut them back at the end of the year. So my greenhouse, got a lovely calendula out the front. It's attracting lots of bees, and I've had loads of bees in here. Every time I come in there's lots. On the left here I've got some tomato plants which are getting really big. I've had quite a few off here already, and I've got some chilli plants there as well, different varieties. So there's another lovely vine of tomatoes coming on, and peppers, see there. I've also got a couple of cucumber plants in here. This one, I'm going to pick this before I go home today. And then in the corner here I've got a cucamelon plant, which is really, it's grown up and it's trailing all around the greenhouse. I'm having to cut it back quite regularly. They produce these small grape-sized fruits that taste quite like a cucumber, and they're really delicious. Very sweet but refreshing, especially when you're working in a hot greenhouse. Down here I've got 3 okra plants that I thought I would try this year, and I can see in the centre there are some, can I focus on that? There are some okras starting to come through, which is very exciting. You can see on that one there. So I'm very much looking forward to harvesting those and having those in curries. I've got a nice basil plant there, which I've been using for pestos, and a kale that I really need to get rid of now. I've planted all my kales out into the brassica cage already. So over this side of the greenhouse I've got 3 aubergine plants. I did plant them a bit late, so I've not had any fruit yet. I think I will sow them a bit earlier next year, but there are some flowers on there, so I'm hoping to get some fruit by the end of the year. Another pepper plant with lots and lots of flowers on it, so that's going to have loads of fruit, and a couple more pepper plants in the corner. So I've really crammed a lot into this 8x6 greenhouse, and I'm looking forward to having hopefully another greenhouse next year so I can really do a lot more. Right, oh, it's very hot in there. Outside, I've got some more rhubarb. Again, I've been picking this a lot. And then here I've got some French beans. I should have tied these up really. They are a dwarf variety, and I've got some purple, yellow and green ones, but they've been a bit battered by the wind, so I'm going to tie those up. Over here I have some more tomato plants, which are about half the size of the greenhouse, but planted exactly the same time, and they're doing fairly well. There's some flowers and some fruits growing on them. I've got the tomatoes there, and then chilli plants just over there as well. Along the end of the bed, this is where I had my broad beans, which I pulled up this week. I'm now going to sow out directly some radish, spring onions and carrots to have as a sort of a late summer autumn harvest. And I'll be doing some sowing over the next couple of days. Over on this bed is my Desiree potatoes. I'm going to be digging these up tomorrow, and I'm going to then replace this directly same day with sowing some more seeds. Probably some lettuce, I think. Let's see what else I have. This is where my new potatoes were. I had red Duke of York potatoes, which were really good for mashing, boiled, roasted, pretty much everything. They did really well. And I've replaced them with a lot of swede plants. I think there must be about 50 there, but plenty to keep us fed over autumn, winter. Right, into the brassica cage. This is doing really well. I've got some really big sprout plants, which are all growing lots of sprouts on. And then over here I've got several cabbages. I think I've got about 12 different cabbages and a couple of kale plants there as well. So I'm looking forward to harvesting those later in the summer and into winter. I've also still got my line of chard there. I've cut it back quite a lot because it went to seed. And I've also got a row of red sprouts just next to it as well, so I'll be digging up the chard soon. Just in this bed is where I had my onion and garlic. I've just dug up the onions and I've platted them. They're stored in the shed, and the garlic was pulled up a few weeks ago now, and that's ready to, it's dry and ready to start using in cooking. So again, I'm going to be using this space for sowing some more veggies, which I'm going to have a big sowing day tomorrow. Right, onto my squash bed, which has just gone berserk. I've got several varieties in here and a few weeds. These, I think, I'm not sure what variety they are, but they're a summer squash, so I should be able to harvest those soon. The plants have just gone everywhere. There's another one there as well. And here, that is I think it's a pumpkin. It's got pumpkin type seeds in there, and it is going yellow underneath. I thought it was a marrow to start with. And I've got some very big pumpkins in here as well. This one is just huge. If I put my hand on there, you can see the size of it. I've got some more pumpkins just here, another one there. I counted over 30 the other day in here of small squashes, and I've got some butternut squash in here somewhere as well. Can't find them now. There are some. There's one coming through, and there's one just through there as well. It's just, considering I planted this 6 weeks ago, there's 5 or 6 small squash plants that they've just grown. I mean, it's all the way up the netting of the brassica cage. It's really amazing. Okay, so along this hedge line, I've just left it go. There's lots of wildflowers or weeds, and the berry bushes I left, which hadn't really done anything. They didn't produce any fruit this year since I took over the plot last year, so I think I'm going to be digging these up and extending the bed from here right up to the fence line. But there are, as you can see, lots of brambles. There's a sycamore there, but that will give me a lot of bed space. And again, in this corner here, I'm going to dig this over and dig it back to give me more bed space. And I'm going to remove that tree because I don't know what it is. It's not flowered or fruited at all. I have got a few apples on here though, so I think I'll probably keep this. I've got several apples. It's a funny shaped tree, but quite a few on there. Lots of brambles as well. Loads of brambles. My fruit bed is a bit disappointing. The berry bushes look like they've died back a bit. There's literally no leaves on them at all, so I'll see what they do in the spring, but I may have to get some more berries next year. Again, the gooseberries, I had a few fruit off there, but not many. See what they do next year. Right, over into this corner I've got my dahlias, which I've been picking. They're beautiful flowers. I picked them yesterday. This one is a white dahlia, it's very pretty. That one's not done too much, so it's a bit of a shame. That one's not flowered yet. I don't know what that one is, but they're getting bigger. There's a nice dahlia flower there that's gone a bit over. Over here, my runner beans, which have been amazing. They're just, every day there's more beans. More beans. They're everywhere. I'm going to try and make some runner bean chutney because I'm fed up of having them for dinner. I've been taking quite a few into work as well. Okay, onto my little sort of salad bed. I've got some lettuce there. It's a gem lettuce, and then I have some beetroot which I've been picking, spring onions and carrots, and a few radishes left over, and lots of beetroot here, which is really suffering from the heat. I'm trying to water it every day, but it really needs some water. A nice calendula at the back, and on my bed by the shed I've got all my leeks, which are doing really well, and some more, I think this is endive lettuce, but I've been picking that a lot. It's doing really well. Again, it's really too hot for lettuce. So it's been a really productive month on the plot. I'm looking forward to next month. There's a lot more that I'm going to be harvesting. All those potatoes, the beetroot, the last of the rhubarb I suspect, and I'll be harvesting what I'm hoping will be a glut of courgettes. I'm also going to be sowing lots and lots of seeds over the next few days, which hopefully will be up, and I'll be able to show you on my next video next month in August.